Today I'm on day 8 of a 12-day fast. And I actually started this fast because I was hoping again for this very vivid and intense dreams like I had it last time. Back then in December, my nights were full of stories about my parents and my sons and former bosses, things I had buried for years. That provided me a lot of material to do my shadow work. And I thought by doing this again, I can continue this practice and even go deeper into my unconscious. But I'm very honest with you, this time the dreams didn't come. The last 5, 6 days, I don't remember anything. And that was actually very disappointing for me in the first place. I felt I was doing something wrong. I was failing the process somehow. But then I realized something different. And this is actually something much more valuable. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So if you want to understand how shadow work works in real life, you should stay with me. I'm doing fasts now, so this extended 10, 12, 14-day fast since more than 8 years, at least once a year. And in the beginning, I did it for health reasons, but that shifted over time. And especially during my last fast in December, so roughly 6, 7 months ago, I focused strongly on the mental and psychological benefits of such a threshold experience. And last time I could do shadow work like you have it in books, right? Every night I had very intensive dreams, and yeah, they were like stories, like complete movies. When I woke up in the morning, I wrote like 4 pages into my dream journal, and this provided a lot of material for me to work with. And that was so powerful to me that I thought, okay, I want to continue that. I want to go even deeper into this journey. So I decided to do another 12-day fast that I started now last week. And to be honest with you, yeah, after collecting now 10 or 12 of this fasting experience, I can tell you that each of them is slightly different, right? They change in the mental energy, in how you feel your body. But each of them brings some new experiences and some new insights. So this time started actually quite good. Usually, so the first 2, 3, 4 days of such an extended fast are actually, I would say, the hardest, right? Because there your body is really missing something, because you stop eating and you don't provide energy to the body anymore until your body switches to ketosis. And that for me usually happened between the 3rd and 4th day. This time I went much quicker into this state. It was already on the 3rd day in the morning. I didn't have any headaches anymore. I was very clear mentally. I had energy and I just felt great. But the disappointing thing was that I couldn't remember my dreams anymore. But I convinced myself also that this is normal and that I shouldn't be too disappointed, because it's just a process, and sometimes you go up and sometimes you go down, and sometimes your unconscious just works in a different way. Maybe it just needs to do some internal work first. And so I kept my open mind and said, okay, let's just see what's going on. Let's see what this experience brings me. And then something else happened instead. I felt a much greater energy during my daytime. It's not only energy, it's more like that all my pores, all my cells of my body are suddenly in a more receptive state. I could sense more of the things that are going on within me, but also around me. And I'm feeling constantly tingling on my skin. And there's also, it's difficult to describe, but it's an emptiness in all my body, which is normal because there's no food and my digestion shut down. So there is an emptiness, a void. But it's not something negative. It's like this emptiness creates space, and it creates energy, and it creates silence. And this silence actually opens the opportunity for dialogue, not only with myself, also with nature. I think that's why I'm much more sensitive to such experiences or feelings. And I feel like that also the border between my conscious and my unconscious became more permeable. There's more interaction between them. I notice this in moments where I'm sometimes just like slipping away, and it can happen during the daytime while I'm walking or while I'm talking to my bike or while I'm just sitting on the sofa, that it's like material from my dreams suddenly comes up. It's very short, but also very powerful. It feels like it starts like there's a sensation coming from my chest. It's some dark space, so dark not in a negative sense, but just a dark space that's coming up and occupying my conscious mind. And from there, I'm drifting away for a few seconds into this dream state. And pictures from my dreams come back to me. And my interpretation here is that my unconscious is no longer waiting for the night for my dreams to come up, right? That was the primary way how Jung described it, that the dreams are the primary way to communicate with us. I think for me, through this fasting states that I generated, it shifted and I enabled my shadow material to appear much more easily. And this for me actually enables a new level of shadow work. I'm using this presence during the day to understand more about myself. And that's why I believe it's so important to make such experiences, to create such situations, if you're serious about shadow work, that you enable different ways of communication. I mean, dreams are one way, but they're obviously not the only one. For me, these experiences and this presence and this receptibility is actually now much stronger than shadow work or active imagination, because it's not forced. And I believe I allowed my shadow to come up whenever it's needed. And that's actually the goal, right? To let your shadow speak up. I think fasting is supporting this because, I reached now a state of stable ketosis and removed all the distraction of my daily life. By this, I created a very powerful state. And I believe this can happen to anyone, including you. We just need to learn how to remove the distraction and how to remove the noise, because that's actually what's holding us back. I recommend you to do that when you have some moments during your day where you feel something changes, or where you have some feelings that you cannot locate, or where you just feel that something is different. It could be a tree or an animal that feel different in a certain moment, or just some sensation in a conversation. Just pay attention to it and try to recognize it and say to yourself, okay, I'm here, I get you. Try to remember this energy and the images you had and the feelings. And ideally, quickly write it down somewhere or take a voice note. If you even want to go deeper, in the evening after such a day, do a short active imagination session where you actively try to bring that situation and try to understand it better. And sooner or later, your unconscious will tell you what happened. I'm on day 8 of my fast, and I will continue that with an open mind, with gratitude, and with acceptance. I'm really happy for doing that. I think it's a great experience. And because such daytime experiences are not something you usually read in the Jung literature, I would be very interested if you experienced something similar. Let me know in the comments. I will read all of them. And if you want to learn more about individuation shadow work, subscribe to my channel. I will start next week with dream analysis of actually dream material and what the symbols really mean. And here you will find more videos on individuation and shadow work applied in real life, not just theory. See you in the next one.